Oh my god, I just got Beforeigners because they're foreigners, but they're from before.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not foreign.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're foreign. Yeah, I just, thought about it.
Hey YouTube, welcome back to our channel. My name is Elena.
And I'm Björn.
And we are Viking Age reenactors and living historians here to talk with you about your favorite Viking shows.
So one of our subscribers actually commented on a recent video of ours reminding us about a trailer that we had missed. So we're going to be reacting to the trailer for Beforeigners. I don't know much about the show myself. I've heard about it. I heard it's really good. And that's about all. Let's find out more.
Yep.
We're going to see the beginning of what seems to be a global event.
As we're hearing, this is happening in a number of locations all over the world. Unofficial observations seem to be pointing in the same direction, but individuals from the past appear...
This is an interesting spin on a show.
I kind of like it.
We'll see. I feel like it has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Merging the two, merging the contemporary with the past, that could be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see how much of a comedy it is. If I don't know what kind of show it is, I'm interested to see if it ends up being a comedy or if it's an action-y thing or
Something serious.
Some kind of sick. I don't know, something serious. Who knows? I'm interested to see. It's strange. I wonder if they're going to explain why it happened. If that's going to be a defining feature in the show, or if they're just going to be yeah, it happened, get over it, deal with it, and move on. There's a Skál being arrested.
He has a city bike. He just came back and learned how to ride a city bike. I love it.
And then a bunch of kids on scooters.
If they had him.
Oh my god. So there's... Oh my god. This whole show is going to be that.
Yep.
I didn't realize that.
If they had him, they would have used them.
Yeah. So there's... I don't know if it's everywhere with reenactment or if it's just us. I think it's I think it's more widespread than that.
I honestly have no idea. I've only ever heard our group say it.
I've seen other people say it online. Regardless, so we have a saying in our reenactment group whenever we want to get away with using modern things or doing something in a modern way or anything when it's it's too hard. For any reason, if we call somebody on not being appropriate for the time period. Anyways, doesn't matter. So whenever something like that happens, the argument or the rebuttal is always if they had them, they would have used them, which is absolutely true. Because it makes life the reason technology exists is because it makes life simpler.
Exactly.
So it's true, but it's also just a funny cop out way of just being leave me alone kind of thing, But this entire show is going to be just an extrapolation on that, that sentence.
Yep.
Oh my god, it's going to be so ridiculous.
I can't wait.
I love these kids on scooters. I hope they're a big part of it. I hope this isn't just a passing thing. I want to see a bunch of young 10th century children just running around causing a muck in the streets.
That would be amazing.
Be great. This child is my favorite right now. So precious. I love it. Okay.
En femmånadskvinna dömd till land.
Rättsteknikern är mycket överbevist om att dödsorsaken är kvävning. Och det är med stolthet att vi idag kan presentera vår första ansatte med flere temporal bakgrunn.
So they're clearly not just helpless time travelers. They're clearly able to adapt and get jobs.
I mean, if you were to land in a different time period with no way back, what would you do?
Murder everything, probably. Out of fear. But that's just me,
Everyone reacts in their own different ways.
I don't like change. I don't adjust well.
Hva om vi teamer opp der, Lars, med vårt nye tekstkudd?
Har jeg aldri sett.
First off, there's nothing about this scene that I don't love right now. This girl's just wicked out of it. Her hair is all over the place. She's like walking very like epically, but like, what is the cloak fashion like tied with? I don't really know. But then her friend, who's just like mystified, and then like the ideal mustache in the background as well.
Yeah.
Like just moving like boom, 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 boom. It's great. Are they like handing out like modern clothing to everybody?
Yeah, they might just be handing them out some kind of like a uniform, just, you know, here's something to wear that doesn't look so out of place at least. I do like her dress though.
Yeah, the dress is really nice.
It's actually like super simple and nice and just fits.
Yeah, she might be somebody important maybe, because that looks like tailored and custom fit and everything too. So there's more detail that like thrown into it, and of course it's like a great color.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like very like maroon.
Exactly.
I love this dude's mustache. There was also like disease that they were doing with, which like makes sense absolutely, because I feel like that's one thing that people kind of don't think about when they're like time traveling or like introducing that kind of aspect is like,
that's a good point.
yeah, disease. Like even in the modern age, like if you go somewhere, you're gonna get sick or you're gonna get people sick just because like herd immunity and from being from two different cultural points and everything. Like when settlers first came to like America, the natives were like wiped out because of disease, intentional and not intentional, like horrible things, like with the smallpox blankets and stuff. But even still, like any kind of like meeting of people like that is, there's going to be some kind of mild sickness at the very least. That's why we have like flu season at the like in September when people go back to school, you know, like
Yeah,
it's exactly the same reason. So like there's no and there's no reason why that would be any different or like crazy exaggerated with like time periods, because there would have been all kind of different diseases and like natural immunities built up from that time frame, and then like coming into like a modern frame when everything's completely different, like oh my god, it'd be crazy widespread.
Yeah, and actually that's a really good point, because even nowadays there are tribes out there that have never had any contact with the modern world. They're very isolated, whether it's on islands or certain parts of the land. They've never had any modern contact.
Right.
And one of the reasons why we don't try to contact them and don't try to extend that societal contact toward them is because of the likelihood that they're going to get sick and die.
Yeah.
Because they've never had contact with the diseases that we have.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the parts of the reason why isolated tribes still exist.
Yeah.
And why they're protected.
Oh my god, I just got Beforeigners, because they're foreigners but they're from before.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not foreign.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're foreign. Yeah, I just like thought about it.
Formekapplegg allerede første dagen vil jeg jobbe på et drapssak.
Jeg er nok litt overveldet selv, ja. Hva faen var det derfra?
Ute på en gammel kjenning.
There's the typical Viking.
Typical Viking leaning out of the car, just going crazy.
With furs.
Burning crosses. And yay for continuing to discuss the religious conflict between the two.
Can you imagine
Yep.
traveling forward in time from 9th century Norway and finding out that the world that they knew has been Christianized?
So we reacted at the exact same time, but to opposite sides of the point. Because I was going to say, imagine somebody coming back from, like, into the future from the past and being able to, like, explain the religion. Like, and, like, explain, like, their worship. And, like, answer all the countless questions that we have. Would be so awesome.
They would be snatched up by historians so quickly.
The government first, sorry. To be clear, the government first. I want this to happen.
There are so many questions that we would have toward them. Because as much as we know about the Vikings, which is quite a bit, it's only just like a little drop in the bucket.
Yeah, it's a fraction.
There's so much that we don't know about them.
It's a fraction of what we should know.
Jeg har et litt personlig spørsmål. Hva er etatens holdning angående seksuell aktivitet mellom kolleger?
Why?
Gay.
Why, Norway? You're better than this. That shield is massive and small. She's covered in big ol' fur on her back, like over a huge thing of like shoddy leather armor with metal studs. It's like, actually in D&D when you talk about studded leather armor, that's studded leather armor. So it's great for fantasy, for LARPing.
The only time that I'm okay with seeing a costume like that on a woman is when I'm watching How to Train Your Dragon. Because that really does look like it's straight out of that movie series.
Yeah, so we always talk about small shields. And reenactors will often use smaller shields because they want to move it quicker. And, like, I guess that's fine. Most of the time, like, historical shields we found have been between, like, 80 and 90 centimeters. Like, the average span. There have been some that are bigger than that, but typically they run about like 80 to 90 centimeters, which is like 32 to like 34, 35 inches or something like that typically. And of course they depend, like the size would depend on who's using it and who it's made for, because you're going to make a shield that fits yourself. I feel like that's just like a general way to like confirm it. Like the Vikings didn't go into battle and like, oh, your shield's looking a little small there. You might want to make another one and make it bigger because we have to keep them between 80 and 90 centimeters. No, they're gonna just want to use it effectively for themselves. So I guess it's a little bit of like a nitpicky thing to argue against. We always typically measure it for like when you're in your combat stance kind of thing. You want to basically be able to cover from like your knee to your shoulder. And that like gives, it's still light enough. It's within that kind of same dimension depending on the size of the person, and it's light enough where you can still move it around and get a lot of effect out of it, as well as it just being a good size to kind of cover and help you learn the basics and actually use your shield like effectively in combat. If you're using like an active kind of shield, looks like a cool show. I'm confused and interested.
I think it's a really good premise for a show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'd definitely be interested in watching it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really cool that they're like being really intelligent about like kind of the things that you wouldn't really think about going into like the time traveler like reintroducing people from the past into the future, like with the disease thing. It makes me furious that they'll go into that kind of detail with that and not with costuming. Otherwise, it looks like a cool show and I'm interested to watch it.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified of our future videos. And we will see you in the next one.